Hey Reddit, what have you paid a lot money for and then immediately realized it was a terrible mistake decision to buy it? Signed and framed 2008 Charlotte Bobcats team picture. You win. I bought a car stereo that turned out to be a brick in a car stereo box from some guys on the street. I kept the brick in my car for 5 years hoping I would see those guys again, but mostly as a reminder to not be such a freaking idiot. That's a crappy scam to fall for. Another one I have seen is outside flea markets they will try selling you OK speakers like Kicker or Pioneer, but if you compare the magnets with a real one they are half the size. A suit of armor. I mean, it's awesome and wearable, but why? Honestly, I'm like a 7-year-old with a credit card. A well-protected 7-year-old with a credit card, mind you. Some of my college textbooks. Bought them in advance and showed up to class and we rarely used them throughout the semester. It's funny because they were required. I've taken the approach to wait through the first week of class before I buy books. In my experience, the professors will say whether or not you really need the book. Additionally, see if your library has a copy of any books you need that you can reserve for a few hours or days, and use it when you need it. I spent over $500 on a bracelet for my wife as a Christmas present. Despite the fact that she never really wears jewelry and isn't into fancy, expensive stuff like that, I felt really dumb. She has only worn it once in the 6 years since. At least you still have the wife. Roomba. Too much dog fur in our house. Error 2. Open Roomba's brush cages and clean brushes. So tired of hearing that stupid error. Ours turned to French and we don't understand it to fix it. Since I'm poor, probably some fancy, foil covered origami paper. The stuff cost $10 a sheet and it didn't fold well at all. I bought a pretty nice replica of a Jedi robe for $120 one night on Amazon while I was drunk. The next morning I remembered what I had done and felt like an idiot. When it arrived I lost all regret. That thing is awesome. I paid $700 for walkie-talkies. Realized when I got home that it was a terrible mistake due to the fact I would never use them. I had about $500 from my high school graduation party and thought it would be a good idea to purchase one of those crotch rocket motorcycles. You know, the ones that look like they belong in a circus and are about 50 cc's or so. I couldn't even use the dang thing without having the police called on me or looking like an butthole. Worst money I ever spent. You know, a lot of places have hobby racing leagues for mini bikes. If you still have it, might be worth a shot to Google for some in your area. Get some enjoyment out of that money. College loan. I wish I had taken more time to excel in school to get a scholarship into a college or at least had most of my bill paid off. I'll be in debt forever with Sally Mae. Frick Sally Mae. I sent them a picture of my dong last week instead of my monthly payment. Ankle length leather trench coat, tailored. It seemed so cool when I was talking to the tailor. It seemed so cool when I wore it out the first time. Then I saw myself reflected in a store window and cringed. In the early 90s, a style you'd see on TV was to wear a casual blazer style coat with jeans and a tee and roll up the sleeves of the coat. I bought one at the Gap. I wore it to breakfast. My friends looked at me like I was an alien. I never wore it again. It's like I was trying to make fetch happen, but worse, and more acutely. Direct buy membership. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I'm not set up financially to do the amount of remodeling it would take to actually get value out of this huge investment. $3,000 on sale. I feel like an idiot every time I look at the credit card balance, and from what the internet tells me, there is no way to get out of it. Don't really have a specific but, generally, clothing. They look so good in stores and when I try it on in the change room, I say to myself that I look pretty good, but as soon as I go home and try it on later, it looks like crap. WTF. Does anyone remember poppers? As in the tracksuit bottoms with buttons all up the side? Think I got mine the week they became unpopular and shabby. £30 is a lot of money for a 10-year-old, and explaining to my mum why I wasn't wearing the awesome trousers I had saved for months for was not fun for little me. My extensive t-shirt collection. I see a design on one of several one-day only t-shirt sites and think, oh well, I can't possibly not have that. Then buy it. Then right after I think, WTF am I doing? I'm eating ramen for lunch all week and I just spent $10-15 on a t-shirt. Now I have a million shirts, most of which shrunk in the wash. I got bigger and have stupid broad shoulders so don't fit anymore. And I could have saved hundreds of dollars if I had just gone thrifting a bit more and not had the need to wear pop culture mashups and awesome designs on my shirts. Find someone who knows how to make quilts and get them to make you a big awesome quilt out of them. One of those Sleep Number mattresses. Thousands on a mattress that felt like I was sleeping on the floor. A floor that would make loud crinkling noises with every move I made. Having sex on it sounded like I was rolling on bubble wrap. God forbid I turned over in my sleep. Bought a plane ticket to Colorado to visit my girlfriend. Found out that day she was cheating on me. Immediate regret. Luckily I was able to change the flight to Vegas instead. Bought the D&D 4th edition Monster Manual, Player's Handbook, and EM Guide. Played 3-4 sessions of 4th edition before switching back to 3.5. This is why free PDFs exist. Arctic's laser and the lightsaber attachment. Total waste of money, but I managed to stop traffic outside my house with it at night just by swinging it around like a madman. So I guess it wasn't a complete waste. Plus I can commit felonies just by pointing it in the sky. That sounds like the sort of impulse buy I'd make. A $1,200 pair of eye glasses. They were titanium, super light and fit my face really well. Plus, super stylish and looked good on me. However, I was never able to shake the buyer's remorse after purchasing them. I did exactly that. It's titanium, made in Denmark, and I have astigmatic butthole eye burgers, so the lenses went another $450. Frick em in the eye hole. Next time I'm a going cheap as chips. Cheap as chips. My fiancé visa to enter the US and get married. I realized I had paid for everything, shouldered almost all of the work, had pushed, prodded, screamed, and cried to get it all done. $3,000 wasted, and my ex, who promised to pay me back half, got off scot-free. Don't know what it's like in the US, but in Canada, you have to stay together for up to 3 years after the final paperwork is complete in order for the applicant to stay in country. My wife is from the States and we just finished the process for her here in Canada. $50 for a pair of binoculars, then realizing that my neighbors across the street pretty much always keep their blinds closed. When I was 17 I fell for one of those pay $600 to be a model. Give us your account number so we can charge you another $20 a month to be on our online booking database types of scams. I was so excited to tell my mom I was going to be a model that I couldn't understand why her eyes were getting so big or why her jaw was dropping. Paid $4,800 for a Prophet 5 synthesizer in 1980. 6 months later they came out with MIDI. It was worth $1,000 in a year. Still have it. Hold on to it for a few more years and it'll be near priceless. After hanging out on our Booled app for a couple months, I thought I was all good to go and it would be totally easy. I proceeded to completely frick up the CPU and MOBO when I set the chip in and then dropped the graphics card on the floor. None of them ended up working. FML. I just had a big sinking feeling in my gut and felt embarrassed because everyone talked about how easy it is and I realized I'm just a clumsy frick who doesn't deserve anything nice. Kirby vacuum. $2,500. Took 3 years to pay off. I regretted it immediately and didn't find out that I had 3 days to get out of the contract until the 5th day. Laptop. Every time I purchase a new laptop, I begin to regret my decision within a couple months. I just want a laptop that I can be happy with for the next 2 or 3 years. A sus man. A sus. A leather corset. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love corsets, but I lost my job shortly after that and I sort of regretted buying it at the time. I still look like a bad butt at the Renaissance fair, but still. I picture you as a big white guy with a beard in a leather corset, and to be honest, you look freaking fantastic. $1,400 mountain bike for wife who promised to ride all the time. Now I have a 3-year-old awesome bike with maybe 8 miles on it. My bike was $500 and has about 3,500 miles on it, most of them by myself. I bought a T-Mobile Sidekick slide, paid $400 for it, ended up giving it to my little brother and buying another phone. Didn't even use the internet on it. In my single days, I made decent money and had no trouble buying whatever gadgets my heart desired. Not 1 week after I got married, my wife and I were discussing finances. Turns out I'm not going to be able to buy anything I want anymore. I figure that's fine. I've had my fun. Cut to just a few hours later, I went to Best Buy and spent $150 on a pair of headphones. I took them to the cashier and he looked at me and said, "Wow, your wife let you buy these?" I told him, "Of course. I'm my own man. I'll buy them if I want. I know you see where this is going." I came back to the car with my new headphones, then suddenly remembered the conversation my wife and I had about money. When she asked how much they cost, I lied and said $50. She looked at the receipt, and before I even had the car in drive she told me, "$150? You said $50. You lied, and now you're going to do the walk of shame. Go right up to the cashier you bought these from and return them." I walked back in, and Best Buy has a separate returns area, so at least I got to keep some of my dignity. Until the cashier that rang me up saw me, and I saw him, and he grinned. I bought an $80 hoodie in Banff, Alberta, where everything is expensive as crap. The hoodie wasn't even good quality. Worst $80 I've ever spent. I know now never to buy things there. I bought 2 Pearl Jam tickets of €200 as a birthday present from the website ticketlocker.com. I found out almost immediately after that it's kind of a scam website. Sometimes they refund money, but most of the time they don't. I never got the tickets and I never got my money back. You can only reach them via email. So if you want to email them, be my guest. They took my money while I could really use it. I'm just a poor student. I hate those bastards. The Nintendo Wii. Biggest waste of $300. Every time someone bring this up in a conversation they say that, but they actually didn't even try to like the console. Most of the times they just got disappointed with how Wii Sports and some other games looks like in comparison to PS3 and 360 games. They never cared enough to look for and play the good games. The Wii have really awesome exclusive games in the library. Donkey Kong Country Returns, Fire Emblem, Radiant Dawn, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Party 9, Mario Strikers, Charged, Metroid Prime Trilogy, Metroid, Other M, Monster Hunter 3, Muramasa the Demon Blade, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, No More Heroes, No More Heroes 2, Pandora's Tower, Red Steel 2, Resident Evil, Darkside Chronicles, Sonic Colors, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2, Super Paper Mario, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, Ultimate All-Stars, The Last Story, WarioWare, Smooth Moves, Xenoblade Chronicles, Zelda, Skyward Sword, Zelda, Twilight Princess, plus it runs GameCube games too, Animal Crossing, Eternal Darkness, Fire Emblem, Path of Radiance, F-Zero GX, Mario Kart Double Dash, Metal Gear Solid, The Twin Snakes, Metroid Prime 2, Echoes, Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, Pikmin 2, Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil Remake, Star Fox Adventures, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2, Rogue Leader, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3, Rebel Strike, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Smash Bros., Melee, Tales of Symphonia, Beautiful Joe, Zelda, Four Swords Adventures, Zelda, The Wind Waker, not counting the Virtual Console. If you say Wii is a waste, you either are not really a gaming fan, or for some reason you really dislike Nintendo games. In this case, why did you buy the console in the first place? Or you don't know what you are talking about. Xbox 360, for example, don't have nearly as many good exclusive titles. It's a lot better to use the money you saved buying a Wii instead of a 360 and upgrade your PC. Cause with Wii and a gaming PC you have access to a far better library of games. I was with a guy for a year. In that time he burned through most of my savings and refused to seriously look for a job. I was stuck cleaning while he played video games and still complained that I would leave messes behind when he cleans. He insisted that he do the cooking even though I'm a picky eater and gets offended when I would scrape off the cake on spices. He would break things and have temper tantrums. The only reason I was with him so long was because he made me feel responsible for him, like I had to take care of him. I ended up paying his brother to take him off my hands. GameStop used to have this system where you could pawn 2 games resulting in pre-ordering an unreleased game. When Just Cause 2 was about to be released I did this. Spent about $70 on 2 games to pawn one day and planned to go back the next day and leave with Just Cause 2 pre-ordered. Sadly, when I get to the cash register there's apparently a list of games that you're not allowed to pawn, so there I stood with 2 crap games, Time Shift and Army of 2, I didn't even want. Lost $80 and Just Cause 2 had to be bought for an additional $80 on the release date. Not a good day. A white long sleeve dress shirt that has to be worn under a suit with a tie because it's very transparent. I have to dress up for work. Business casual. I rarely wear a suit jacket. I have 7 dress shirts I rotate through. About once a month I try on this dress shirt, only to be shot down as I can see right through the sleeves. I dye a little bit on the inside as it goes back on the rack. I did this morning. Frick that shirt. My soul is blown out from that stupid shirt. TLDR. Don't buy see-through dress clothes. For see-through materials like that, you're usually supposed to wear a thin camisole or undershirt if you're man underneath. Actually, I've seen people who don't give a crap and just let people see their bra. I won't recommend though. When I was 17, I bought a 2001 Saab 9-3 with the hopes that it would last me as a commuter car in college. Basically the car was just a nightmare of small problems. I got a flat tire. A $5 sensor broke that would turn off my car at random. The radio broke. The power steering fluid reservoir leaked. The alignment was so bad I could make a right turn without touching the wheel. The brakes were awful, etc. It wasn't even like it was a cool car. It looked like it was from the 80s and was an ugly green color. I recently sold it when the turbo broke on it and the car started chugging out thick exhaust. Good riddance. A lot of that sounds like the car wasn't taken care of, and the flat tire was probably your fault. Tires usually don't randomly go flat for no reason, and by not fixing anything makes everything worse and might break something else. Also, the brakes were probably awful because you needed new brake pads and you needed a wheel alignment. Things like that don't last forever. Once when hungover still drunk I collared by a white van man. They had a bunch of speakers that wasn't on our delivery, so we need to get rid of them before going back to the warehouse. I looked at the specs on the box. Knowing about audio equipment, I could tell the specs were good. Saw the price tag for $1,000 on the box and thought why not. I agreed £100 for it, as long as they gave me a lift to work. I was running late. Went to the cash machine. They brought it to my house and set it down in my living room, and then gave me a lift to work. Actually seemed like nice guys as well. Turns out it was $1,000 Korean dollars, I think, which equated to around £100. The specs were obviously fake and I never actually bothered to get the thing to work. It dawned on me as I arrived at work and did some research and saw plenty on Gumtree and eBay. Met a few people who got caught out similarly previously and they did the same thing. On the upside, that same month there was an error with the payment of my rent, and I only paid half of what I should have done that month. The landlord said it showed as paid, but I still had the money. Luckily for me everything balanced out. But the one thing that nobody could answer, including myself, was, why the frick did I only buy one? What fricking use would it have been on its own? I'm sure glad I did only buy one, but that was the most retarded part, and that is the worst purchase I have ever made, the world's most expensive lampstand. I bought a Kirby vacuum when I was high on painkillers from a bad back injury. I let the guys vacuum my house for 2.5 hours, signed a contract that said I would pay $88 a month for 5 years. Yes, 5 years. Gave them my old vacuum, which was actually my mom's that I was borrowing, and sent them on their way. When I woke up and actually realized that what I thought I had dreamed was real, I cancelled the contract after yelling at a few people. They refused to give my mom's vacuum back. Mac. My friend said that it had no crashes and you could play any PC game on it. Total freaking balls. I found out that you needed to run Windows on your Mac just to play the PC game. I am not spending another freaking $200 on 8GB RAM just to get Windows running. Sorry for the little rant. Macs just pee me off. I'm trading on my $2,500 Mac for a $1,300 Sign computer. That's how much Macs suck. Sorry Mac fanboys. I know you like your computers, and I do not have a problem with that. It's just that it's not my type of computer. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.